Well, the deadline has come and gone for the Department of Justice to respond to a D.C. judge's demand for more details on last week's mass deportation flights to El Salvador. On board those flights, more than 200 suspected Venezuelan gang members. So what happened? Attorney General Pam Bondi says the government may invoke something they call state secrets privilege to block Chief Judge James Boasberg's order. Now, that, as the White House continues its attack of that judge, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt had this to say on that point.
The judge in this case is essentially trying to say that the president doesn't have the executive authority to deport foreign terrorists from our American soil. That is an egregious abuse of the bench. This judge does not have that authority. It is the opinion of this White House and of this administration, and that's why we're fighting this in court. And it's very, very clear that this is an activist judge who is trying to usurp the president's authority.
So, executive branch, judicial branch. Let's go live to CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman. We are starting to see that push back and forth. What information is the judge asking the DOJ to provide when it comes specifically to those flights out?
Reed, the judge wants details about these flights that took immigrants from the U.S. to El Salvador. He's asking for exact timing. When did the plane leave the U.S.? When did it leave the U.S. airspace? What time did it touch down in another country? And whether it touched down in any country before El Salvador. He also wants to know how many people on that plane were deported under the Alien Enemy Act. So he really wants specifics so that he can determine whether or not his order was violated when they deported these people and brought them all the way to El Salvador, when he had said not to send out any more planes and to bring back any planes that were already in the air.
All right, so let's piggyback off of that and now jump to another story, because this is starting to bubble up in our headlines. A developing story out of Georgetown University. That researcher detained by immigration authorities happened March 17th. Now, we want to let our viewers know CBS News has learned his name is Badar Khansuri. He's an Indian national, a postdoctoral candidate teaching at the university on a student visa. So the Department of Homeland Security confirms his visa was canceled for what they call foreign policy reasons. Look at this. The agency posted on X saying Suri was a foreign exchange student at Georgetown University, actively spreading, they say, Hamas propaganda and promoting anti-Semitism on social media. Georgetown came out with their own statement on that detention, saying in part, we are not aware of him engaging in any illegal activity. We have not received a reason for his detention. We expect the legal system to adjudicate this case fairly. So CBS News has that new reporting on this. Katrina, what have you learned?
We've obtained documents, the complaint from his lawyers, and their writ of habeas corpus, Reed. So we're learning a little bit more about what happened when he was arrested. They say that he was outside his home in Virginia. He and his wife had just returned from the fast for Ramadan, which sounds very similar to when Mahmoud Khalil, the Columbia University Palestinian activist, was arrested. The DHS agents who showed up were wearing masks. They could only see their eyes, but they told him that his visa had been revoked and they were going to detain him. He had his wife go get his passport and documents, and then his lawyers say that they believe he's been taken to a detention center in Farmville, Virginia, Reed. We also learned from the complaint that the couple had been doxxed and smeared on a website called the Canary Mission that has a blacklist of people who they think are sympathetic to Palestinian issues.
We also know from where you are, not far from where you are actually, you're covering the New York trial of that Iranian dissident and journalist who prosecutors say was the target of a murder-for-hire plot. So much to cover here. What's the latest on this trial?
Reed, this is a fascinating trial, and the latest is that the jury is deliberating. But just to tell you a little bit about it, this is an Iranian activist and journalist, Masih Alinejad. She has been a leader of the women's rights movement in Iran, of the movement to free the compulsory hijab, and also an outspoken critic of Iran's government. So this trial is about a murder-for-hire plot that prosecutors allege was directed by Iran's government, who brought in Russian mobsters to kill her at her home here in Brooklyn, New York. There was a man who had been surveilling her, Reed, and the day that he ended up being arrested, he had come to her door and tried to knock on it. She didn't answer at the time. She was involved in an important Zoom call, but also felt suspicious. That man, when he left, was stopped by police and ended up being arrested when they found an AK-47 style rifle in the back of his car. And Reed, at her trial the other day when she was testifying, I also met her husband, who said that wasn't the first time he almost killed Masih Alinejad. Earlier that week, he had seen her on the porch, but he hadn't had his gun in that moment, and he went back to get it, and by the time he came back, she was gone. So there have been multiple attempts on her life now, including another one that happened just this past fall that was orchestrated by the same person who was allegedly directed by Iran to kill now President Donald Trump before the election. So the jury is now deliberating on whether these men, in fact, will be found guilty of this murder for hire plot.
So much to keep track of in these very complex court cases. I want to thank you for every one of your late nights in law school. Katrina Kaufman, we appreciate your reporting.
Thank you,
so
Reed.
very much.